When it comes to my kids, there's really not much I can do. I keep trying, and I'm going to. I finally got an answer back from Oliver today, which is graduation party's in 2 days, and I haven't heard from him in literally 2 years. So he probably wants a present, and he wants to see Jazzy and Leo. In fact, his answer was, "Yeah, I'd like you to come. Could you pick up Jazzy and Leo on your way?" Like, he hasn't said hi. He hasn't said, "Hey, Dad, nice to hear from you," anything. But that's because, as a child, his mother and I divorced. He saw me on weekends sharing his time with me with his other siblings and never got one-on-one time. When we got one-on-one time, on his own, during his life, during his growing up with his mom at her house, going to school there, whenever I saw them, I'd try to get into their mind, and not into their mind in that way, but say, "Hey, how's life going? What do you like doing? What are you into?" And they'd give me the same stories, and I'd listen, but then I'd be told 6 different ways. And that's my fault too, but I was trying to be as good as I could with each of them. And then even when they got phones and emails, they just didn't answer because they were used to not being able to talk to their dad. And when they did talk, it was more like, "I miss you, I miss you, I miss you," when they were younger, and nobody wants to go through that. So I understand why they turned that feeling off, and they got used to, "I don't miss my dad anymore." And now they can see me and choose not to. So I get why that happens. How do I build it back if they don't want it? If they can't just look at themselves and say, "I'm not mad at my dad. Things just were that way, and I got used to it." He's the guy who is my father, who I have never stopped loving my children. Never. Not one day has gone by where I didn't think about my kids. Not once did I just go about my day not thinking like that I forgot about them or something. It's not like that. I just don't go around talking about it like, "I miss my kids, I miss my kids, I miss my kids." But I've always wanted to do something to be able to see them more often. And now I can see them whenever, and they don't even answer my messages. I go over to pick up Xavier outside the house, and I sit there staring at the window, and a couple times I might see him walking by the window. I've seen him in the window. I've seen their mom in the window. I've seen Brianna in the window. I've seen Brianna pass and look away because she didn't know what to say. And I get it. See, I get it, but I don't know how to fix it unless they want to, because I want to. Now with Jazzy and Leo, when they come here, I feel the bond that they feel is left. But since they're getting used to not seeing their dad, and even when I say to them, "I know that you guys don't see me, you're only getting used to what you're doing on a normal basis. You don't want to miss me. So it sucks when you come here and I'm like, 'I miss you, dude.' And when you get sad and you're like, 'Oh, this was fun. I missed you, Dad.' And then you leave and you're like, 'I don't want to get into that I missed you stuff again.' And you just try to just block it out. And I understand. It's going on with Jazzy and Leo now. And I love them, and I know they love me. But since their mom doesn't care to make any progress, and they're more like, 'Oh, the future is set. Tomorrow is not set. I don't care what a piece of paper says. The ones I love are being kept from me.' I wish somebody would please take it into their own mind and see how that feels. The ones I love are taken from me and have learned to just not be around me. Not because of what I've ever done, even as a human being, just as the person I am. I didn't do anything to harm them. I did nothing but work and pay child support because I got taken for a whole bunch of money and had to pay it. Yes, I had the kids, but I didn't plan on the things going wrong like that. And I did try to work things out. I was trying to be honest. I lost a friend, and their first marriage went bad for just life happenings. The second one, she was too immature, wanted one thing, changed her mind, wanted another thing, changed her mind. Everything was fine, and then her and her friends were just bored and didn't have enough money and weren't happy, so they had a group breakup with their boy, like her with me, the other with her boyfriend, the other with her husband. Now that's not a mature thing to do, not at all. But they gave her the kids, because at that point I was 10 years older than her, and she was just like 26, 27. She moved back with her mom and dad. Her mom and dad have a lot of money. Her dad is the general manager or whatever at AutoZone, a car place, and nothing bad about any of them. They're only doing the best they can from their position. They're just not taking other people into consideration at all. They're thinking they know something, and they're just throwing them out. And in certain people's minds, it's like, I don't care how great of a person or how loving a person is. If I don't know them, I'm not going to go out of my way to get to know them. And even if they would bless my life and make it so much better if I just took a moment to see who they are right now, I don't feel like it. I don't have to, and I have the right to just be lazy and do nothing. Like, not just lazy and sit around. I just mean make no attempts. Knowing that I have grandchildren and children that I love, and I want to do whatever I can to make their lives good. But never has it occurred to me that their loving Father that we could help him see, we'll just keep him from. And it won't even be like keeping him from him. We'll just start that way and forget about it. So now when he brings it up, they'll be like, oh, if I brought it up to Brittany's mom and dad and Brittany, they'd be like, why are you going off about it now? It's been like this. I'm like, but I've always wanted to see my damn kids. It's never changed. And I don't mean damn kids as in bad. I mean damn as in something keeping me from them. They are. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not mad right now. This is just my heart coming out, and I'm not trying to yell. But it's one of those things where it's bottled up, and it's been bottled up for a decade. Am I supposed to just be like, whatever? People kill themselves and commit suicide over some girl they just met leaving them or something like that or whatever, and they don't stick it out to try to work on it. Like, I have a reason to blow my own fucking head off if I was just a normal, everyday guy who just kept working like I did more than anyone I've ever met. There's no one that I've met in my personal life at all that works more than I did. My own brother Mike has started to in the last few years, but I was always working 20, 22-hour days, sometimes staying up a couple days in a row. Not like it's a comparison, but like our family, my family is a weird family that works their ass off to try to understand or to try to be, as good as they can, not to get recognition. It's the weirdest thing. So I'm just trying to be as good as I can too, but I can't work the jobs anymore. I can't do that bullshit when it makes no sense. This is not a world where where you're supposed to even go out and get a job to make money. That's fucking retarded. As a being living in a world, born, you wake up in the morning. Why the fuck would anybody be like, let's go work at a shop that's all dusty and dirty because it's got to be done. People need these things. People need to eat this garbage. People need to go to these places and sue people because they can't work things out. We need to have all kinds of attorneys and lawyers. If they were just doing things that were meaningful and helping people that had crimes committed to their family or murders in their family or any kind of major thing, sure. But people that are taking kids from the other that aren't a bad parent, they just broke up. That's it. They just broke up. And they even have worse traits than the parent that's being kept from. Like, they have worse traits than me. And that's not even, I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just being honest. Literally. There's no one that can say anything about what I'm doing that would be bad for my kids at all. To tell them to live for themselves and use their own mind and teach them how to do that, to help them get in shape, to help them learn how to eat right, how their body completely works, to tell them how the mind works. Like, what the hell is going on with people out there when I can't make sense to anybody? When I'm completely talking sense. And when they hear it, they're just like, that makes sense. I get it. And I'm just supposed to be like, oh, but, the government said no, so I'm just supposed to sit and be like, I'm just not allowed to do anything because, the government said no. And the papers are written, so, who am I to contest these papers which say what is right and wrong for my children and for me to be as a living human being from some other human being who's just another person who wakes up, eats, sleeps, and shits, but he puts on a fucking cloak. How retarded are you people? Now, I want to teach my kids that. So coming up is Oliver's graduation. I'm not proud of him for graduating high school. I'm proud of him for being alive and making it through the bullshit that he's gotten through so far. All the details mean nothing. For getting up and putting up with the world with how it is, I give him all credit. Oliver, Matthew, of course, Brianna, Xavier, Jasmine, Leo, I give them all so much credit. Even everybody else that I know, everyone else that I don't know, everyone that's surviving right now, I give them all a lot of credit for dealing with the bullshit that we've given ourselves and that we've allowed to be given to ourselves. Now I'm standing up for it. And if that makes me crazy, then I'm sorry that you guys think a hero is crazy, a real-life hero. And not only that, someone who can teach you some really magical things. And some really amazing things that will help your future, no matter who you are. Now look past that if you want to, but you're neglecting yourself by doing that. And anyone who thinks I shouldn't see my kids, and especially the people who are causing my kids to grow up without me and to have developed a mentality that, I don't want to miss my dad, so I don't. No, I'm used to not seeing him. Whoever has helped develop that, including the parents, the grandparents, the judges, the court system, fuck you. I love you as beings because you're just doing what you think is right. But you've made so many mistakes and you haven't taken responsibility for the lives you are affecting negatively. Now it's time for you to do it, and I require it for the children that I love, for you to start facing the things that you've done wrong in harming them with the relationship that they could have had with their father that you took away. And now I'm trying to say even to them, you're older now, and you have a responsibility to yourself to get your life in order, to know what this is all about. And your father loves you. So why in the world would you neglect him? Because he's right here for you. Children, why have you forsaken the father? That's how it's going right now. You're choosing to throw away the right thing because the right thing isn't fun. The wrong thing is what you prefer to do. And then you wonder, what's wrong with life? Why is life so hard? Why is it this way? Don't look around at any of the adults. You don't have to do what they're doing. Just be brave enough to not be like them, even when they get mad at you. Even when other people tell you you're crazy or have no idea what you are talking about, because they don't know what you're talking about. You know exactly what they're trying to say because you see how asleep they are. Not one person can change that truth. I'm sorry. I don't like being right about everything. But people won't agree to that because it's not right from their point of view. But their point of view is an ego. My point of view is the truth. I'm looking at both sides. I know that they were trying to do what they felt right about, or they were just getting even. That's a very big possibility, and both of them know they've done it. Both of them know they've done it. They've driven the stake into my fucking chest, and they still hate me, or don't like me, or say, oh, I'm okay with them, but never make any attempts to talk to me. Avoid me when I try to talk to them, or make it really short. Or there's this feeling of I feel uncomfortable from them. I'm not uncomfortable around them. I'm ready to say everything, give them a hug, give them a kiss on the cheek, and say, yo, let's raise these kids right. Doesn't matter how old they are. They need help still. All of them. From Matt to Leo, they all need some help. Because they've been misled by no lead. And now it's time to be the leaders. To be not just the leaders, the co-livers, the ones that are right there existing with them, helping them grow and develop. That's what we should be doing. All of us, with all of our children, with everybody. Now, if I'm wrong, please tell me why. Other than that, please open your hearts and join me. Change this world for the better. There's nothing else to do because there's a lot of work that needs to be done.